on, y'all? I'm Shannon Jackson, owner and founder of Defined Aesthetics Media Company. I also run a podcast on iTunes podcast called The Creative Corner, where creatives hang. We just have an opportunity where we just come together second and fourth Fridays of every month, and we just talk creation, and we have a good time with each other. Whether you're an artistic creator where you paint or draw or sculpt or anything like that, or you create legislature, or you write code for computer companies, or whatever it is that you do, we all just come together and vibe in the Creative Corner. And I'm your host, Shannon Jackson. So check us out. My overall mission is to empower creators to use their gift in this world, because it's a crazy thing that the world needs us. Like I said, whether you're creating novels, fiction, nonfiction, whether you've created an invention that the world needed, anything that is used, the world uses because we created it. So if we stopped creating it, we stopped pushing the envelope, if we stopped, what would they use? What's the next push to start? Or what's the next chair? Or electric locks that you can unlock your house from your phone? Like, if we stopped, what would there be? So that's my overall mission. I decided to take my brand more seriously when I understood that I couldn't get ahead just working a job. I always tell people when I go volunteer at the schools, high school, elementary school, whatever, I tell the students, and it's always funny because the teacher kind of like looks at me because the teacher has gone to college most times, and I tell kids that you have to make a decision on whether or not college is right for you. And it's not saying if college isn't right for you that you're not smart or you're illiterate in some way or you failed at school. That just means you decided to take a path that you created on your own. So if you go to college, that's cool, you still have to have a plan, but if you don't have a degree to fall back on. And once I realized I didn't have a degree to fall back on, I had to be the degree. So I had to fall back on myself. I had to create the brand, I had to work at it, I had to fail at it, and I had to pick up at it. And the interesting thing about failing, when you fail, you can take that step forward. So you can see what you did, what didn't work. You can step on that fail to lift yourself to the next place. So it's all about perspective. And once I put all that together, it was like, yo, this is the lane I have to be in. Like, this is how it's gonna work out. I do this because it's fun. I create, I brand myself, I get out here because it's fun. Every time I have an opportunity to do something that I'm not used to doing, or do something that's outside of my particular comfort zone, or do something that pushes me as a creator, it's fun. It's a new opportunity for me to find a new way to get something done. Even when I'm embarrassed, even when I'm stressed, even when I'm totally outside my comfort zone, that's a new opportunity to strategize and figure out how I need to adjust, what in-game adjustments I need to make. And it's always fun to put the puzzle together and outsmart the opponent. So I do it because it's fun. My biggest hurdle connects with the fun part. Not falling into what I'm doing becoming work. And what I mean by becoming work, when you put the job mentality on, like, oh, it's just a part of the process, or it's just work, or it's just whatever. No, my passion never can become work, because then I'll want to quit. Because the reason we don't have jobs for very long is because we got tired of the new car smell of the job, or the new process, or the new procedure, and once that fades, you get bored again because it's busy work. Most times we're doing something that no one else wants to do but needs to get done. So my biggest hurdle was figuring out, how can I keep this fun? What do I need to do to keep having fun at what it is I do? What you got to lose? Like, if you're hesitant to following your dreams, look at what you have now. And is it working for you? And if it is, teach me your ways. But if it's not, because for most of us it's not. For most of us, our job don't pay our bills. For most of us, we gotta call this person to make a payment arrangement, or we gotta put this person off, or I can't pay you back this month, or I can't. Most of us live that life. So if that's you, what do you have to lose? Legacy has always been something that over the last few years, I'll say, I've been thinking about, because I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying? And you start to think about the longevity of what it is that you do. And I want people to remember me as somebody who didn't just come. Like, I wasn't just here. I've been remembered for something that God placed on the inside of me to do. And it's my responsibility to give that to the world. Like, if I don't give my gift to you guys, then I fail. And I don't want to fail at the one responsibility that I was given. And that was to inspire people to be things that they didn't know they could be. So if I can be remembered as saving somebody, stopping somebody from giving up, stopping somebody from throwing in the towel, if I can just be remembered, my book being given to one person, it don't even have to be a bestseller, which it will be because it's gonna be dope. But it don't have to be that. I just want to stop one person from giving up. And if that can happen, then that's all the legacy I need. The message I want to give to everybody that's tuning into this is be authentically you. Like, oftentimes, especially if you're creative, we get lost in the sauce of reconstructing someone else's thing. Because we're not the first person to do this. We're not the first person to do hair or cut hair or bake cakes or make movies. Like, these things have been around way longer than us. But I promise you, if you find your reason for loving it, not my reason for loving it, not Steven Spielberg's reason for loving it, not Mark Zuckerberg's reason for loving it, but yours, that'll drive you. Because anytime it gets tough, you'll remember, I'm doing this because. And it's kind of like the why plus. It's not just, oh, I'm just doing this because I want to make money, or I'm doing this because I want to help. No, I'm doing this because this is why I loved it. And never let that love die. It's like being in a relationship. If you fall in love today, that love not gonna carry you 60 years. Like, y'all gotta continue to work at that. You gotta continue to fall back in love with that person over and over and over again if you don't want it to get stale. And your passion is the same way. Fall in love with it again. If it's been a while, fall in love with your art again. Pick up the pencil, pick up the pad, draw something. Get back intimate with why you fell in love with the things that you did. And I promise you, it will last you for a lifetime.